He may not have finished first, but he's going to finish fast. Or not at all. Yeah. You know, I think the problem is they didn't turn the JBL speaker on.
I think you're right.
Whoa!
Do you remember seeing these when you were younger? If you don't, these are called crazy carts. They're these little battery-powered carts that would have a drift handle so you could slide around, and also there were some upgraded versions that would go pretty fast. And for the longest time, I've always wanted one, but thought that they were too expensive, especially the upgraded ones.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on, bye.
But then I had an opportunity. I came across an application for Sauceathon, and somehow I was one of the 50 people selected to attend. And yeah, coincidentally, they wanted us to build pedal-powered carts using old bikes and custom fabricated parts. I immediately knew that this was my chance to get to design the crazy cart that I've always wanted. I mean, it was perfect. I'd get to design whatever dumb shit I can think of. As long as it can drift, it would have the highest maneuverability by far, and everything was free. For us, at least. Let's just say the cost of our cart was maybe in the thousands. I also got to meet some of my favorite YouTubers like Michael Reeves, William Osman, the Backyard Scientist, and the Action Lab. So 2 weeks ago I traveled to Sauceathon in Utah. If you aren't familiar with Sauceathon, it's this invite-only 24-hour hackathon-style event hosted by Open Sauce. Now, Open Sauce is this ginormous tech convention that happens every summer, and basically all of your favorite creators go, a bunch of the community goes, and they just show off all the cool stuff that they've built over the year. So I started my trek to Utah around 9 p.m. on Friday, and I had just gotten out of an exam that I probably bombed because the whole time all I could think about was this hackathon. But luckily I was so pumped that on my 8-hour drive there, I didn't fall asleep once, so that was good. I got there around 4 a.m. and immediately just took a nap. When I woke up, I went to go get some breakfast, and then I headed in for the registration. After that, I went and found my team, and we took this group picture. Luckily, we decided to do these group check-ins, like pictures and videos every once in a while, or else I would have completely forgotten. I was so locked in on this project. And this whole time, we had no idea what we were going to be building. But then around 1 p.m., William Osman came out, and he announced to us that we were going to be building these pedal-powered carts that could get around an obstacle course. The width, length, and height all added together needed to be less than 62 inches, and they had to weigh less than 50 pounds. Very specific things, but I believe they wanted them to fit in a suitcase, just in case they had to fly them, but luckily that wasn't an issue for us. I've been wanting to design one of these for so long, I had a lot of ideas right away.
Another day, another victory for the OG.
So if you don't know how a crazy cart works, it's basically just caster wheels that are mounted at an angle, so they naturally want to go straight. The trick is that when the handle is pulled upwards, the caster wheels are mounted straight up and down, and they're able to spin freely, essentially letting you drift. And pretty quickly, we all agreed on doing the drift bike design with the drift handle. I spent probably like 8 hours straight just designing this thing in CAD, but then I finally got the parts sent off to start being manufactured. I believe we were one of the first teams to do so. And luckily, they basically bought us unlimited Red Bull, which let me stay up for the entire event. Sponsor me, Red Bull. Anyways, the sponsor for this event, Oshcut, had staff there for the entire 24 hours that could fabricate any sheet metal or piped parts that we could think of, so it was super easy to rapidly design and iterate. The first thing that I had to make was this triangle-shaped frame. At the bottom of it were these pillow blocks, and essentially these were going to hold the drift handle, which held the caster wheels to the frame. This seems easy enough, but it took a lot of trial and error to get the tolerances just right, because I completely forgot about them, but also there was a lot of design constraints that we were trying to meet. I think our first order of parts came out to around $2,000, but luckily we had a company account that paid for it, or else I would be in a lot of debt right now.
Tell them to bring me my money.
We ended up welding these mounting plates to the frame that we made and also the bike frame we planned to attach, which allowed for easy assembly and disassembly to meet the constraints. The front of our cart was basically just the front frame of a mountain bike, and we chopped off the front fork so that we could attach the back wheel to that, which that let us use the original pedals and gear shifting system, which didn't end up working. But then we used a little kid's wheel as the front wheel, which gave us a better gear ratio, so that wasn't an issue. It's kind of like a Frankenstein bike, but yeah, it ended up working out really well. Also, the kids tire that we used had a sprocket on it that when you pedaled backwards, it would break. This is good for a kid's bike, but on ours, it would cause the chain to just completely fall off. Subtle foreshadowing for later. Also, we made this custom mount so that we could use the kids brake because the original mountain bikes brakes were just not compatible with this little wheel. So after all the main components were done, we wanted to add some accessories. So I modeled up this sweet spoiler, which was another order, by the way.
What's up? Because it's time to go beast mode.
But yes, the flames do make us go faster.
Huh?
And the rest of my team went to Walmart to find a seat.
What the hell? Oh my God, no way, yeah.
I think all in all at this point, our cart probably cost around $5,000 just due to the sheer number of times we had to remanufacture due to tolerance issues. And after all of that work, here's the finished product.
Like my ride?
Shut down.
We each took a few practice laps, and I had the fastest time with over a minute lead at 1 minute and 18 seconds compared to the other teams. But no hate though, they had some really cool designs. I really liked this hanging bike. When it came time to race, all of the YouTubers came out of their office and explained the rules to us again. We were group number 2, so we were gonna go up first against group number 1. And so we did a little group photo on the starting line, and I got ready to race. When the race started, we had a decent start, but I ended up crossing the brake line over itself, and so I had to do a 360 with the handlebars to get going again, which that lost us a little bit of time, but it wasn't too bad. Although when I got outside, the chain randomly fell off, which it had never done that before, so that was kind of it at that point.
I'll tell you what, team, guys, it's not a nail biter. If you don't know what it is, it's not that.
We weren't allowed to touch the ground, and I was taking the rules pretty seriously, so I just kind of sat out there not being able to pedal until luckily my teammate Ginger came out and she put the chain back on for me. And actually I was still able to finish pretty fast. I think we got like 4th place if I remember correctly.
Oh, he may not have finished first, but he's going to finish fast. Or not at all. Yeah. You know, I think the problem is they didn't turn the JBL speaker on.
I think you're right.
I was going pretty fast and we were supposed to parallel park it in the finish zone, but since we could drift, I just was going really fast and just drifted it perfectly into place. But yeah, while we didn't win, it was a super awesome event, and I recommend that everyone who's interested apply. And our cart may have cost Oshcut a small fortune, maybe around like $5,000. To me, yeah, it's priceless. But yeah, it was super cool getting to know my team and fellow competitors. So many like-minded people there who just were passionate about building stuff and problem solving, so it was just super cool. Even a bunch of the YouTubers I talked with one-on-one were just so enthusiastic and fun that it was just like a great event all around. And so the whole time at this event, the creators were also making stuff. And so the Backyard Scientist made these land ski things, and he was riding them around like the whole time, and he ended up racing with them too. But at the end of the event, William Osmond gave me those land skis. Like, what? And he just told me to bring it back to Open Sauce. So I think I'm actually going to try to motorize them, and then I'll bring them to Open Sauce this summer. So keep an eye out for that video, and if you're going to Open Sauce, then maybe try and find me, and maybe you can ride them. Who knows? I'm also going to be bringing my team's bike, so keep an eye out for that. I think they want to do some sort of like group exhibit where it's all of the bikes from Sauceathon, so I'm not too sure yet, but I'm pretty sure it should be there. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you want to see more engineering content, make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss my next video. But with that, I'll see ya. Okay, bye.